Formula One. It's a sport often seen as insular and elitist, but it's seen a meteoric rise under its owners Liberty Media, not only in popularity and viewership, but in the ability to almost print money. From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But in 2016, Ecclestone agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year, in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across their social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Good morning, this is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning, brought to you with the good people of Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Now, this is interesting, Barry, isn't it? That there may be a hologram Freddie Mercury for a Queen, a new Queen tour with Brian May. Do you think, when we have passed on, from our small time on this planet, do you think there'll ever be a hologram Barry Glendenning somewhere?
I am surprised we haven't been replaced by holograms already. Max, holograms are probably better than us.
Maybe.
They're low maintenance.
True.
I don't know how much a hologram costs, but I'm going to go out on a limb and suspect it's probably cheaper than
Do you think
They're
you're
not.
cheaper than a hologram? Well, a hologram that actually can do things? I don't know how expensive the ABBA holograms are. And also, I suspect there's quite a lot of maintenance, isn't there, with a hologram? It's a different kind of maintenance, but I think we're pretty low maintenance. Not for us to say, I guess, but, you know, when was the last time you were
low
demanding?
maintenance.
Yeah.
I don't make demands. I don't throw strops, tantrums. I'm pretty reliable. I generally turn up on time where I'm supposed to, when I'm supposed to. But if the hologram option was available, I can think of certain scenarios where I would happily send a hologram as my representative, not necessarily on this show, but social occasions that I'm not particularly interested in attending. That kind of thing.
I think it would be, I mean, because you obviously didn't come to my wedding because you couldn't be bothered and text me the day before. I think had you sent a hologram
would that have been more or less insulting?
I think it would have been. You know, I suppose, would people have sidled up to you for idle chit-chat? Like, what's your purpose there if you're just a hologram at the wedding? Just to sort of,
well, I'm
in the
there.
photos,
I can
people
be
wouldn't...
in the photos.
Right.
My presence has been registered.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not very good. If I'm at a social occasion where I'm not going to know anyone else, and, you know, apart from you, and I can't really hijack you for the day on your own at your own wedding.
True. No, I understand the reasoning. We've been through this, but I'm trying to think if a hologram of you was there.
Well, a hologram could do just as good a job as me of standing in a corner staring at his feet.
Dancing to John Farnham's The Voice
I
in the background.
wouldn't venture near the dance floor.
Well, maybe Hologram Barry would. Maybe Hologram Barry would let himself go.
There would be less chance of Hologram Barry drinking way too much and making a spectacle of itself.
That's true. Oh, no. Hologram Barry has made a mess in the corner. We've got to clear it up. Anyway, look, we've got no time for this idle chit-chat because we bookmarked Butcher to look back at day 3 of the first Ashes test. Hey, Butch, how are you?
Well, day 3's been a belter so far. Didn't have to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning. Still getting over it, really. It was an extraordinary 2 days of Test match cricket that showed England at their most dangerous and potent and at their most impotent, I suppose. Just an extraordinary couple of days.
Yeah. And sort of now you've had an extra night and a good night's sleep to think about it. Because it's so interesting, isn't it? When Bazball doesn't work, it looks so bad that you sort of forget the good bits of Bazball. And when Bazball is good, it's so good. It's like a sort of abusive relationship, isn't it? It's so good that you sort of forget all the bad stuff. And right now we're just going, what are you doing after lunch? Why are you all wafting at wide ones? What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, and therein lies the frustration with it, really, because, as you say, when they're good, they're amazing. Think of the run chase at Headingley last year, where they chased down 380 against India to win a Test match that they were behind on 3 or 4 different occasions over the 5 days, but ended up winning it. But then on the same side, they get themselves in front, at the Oval, a game that they really should have won and ended up losing it. They did that in the 2023 Ashes at home in the first 2 Test matches, were 2-0 down in 2 games that they should have won. So look, it's incredibly frustrating, and it's part of the conundrum when you're a sort of pundit and when you're talking about this England team, because you're loath to kind of go too hard at the way that they play, because it does provide such thrilling moments, such wonderful entertainment, some incredible wins. But my goodness, the issue comes when, particularly in big series like this, where you're not trying to convince the public that the Ashes is an important thing. You don't have to over entertain people to get them to tune into the Ashes. I mean, it's the pinnacle of the game, and therefore the winning part is actually the only part that's of any importance whatsoever. Never mind how entertaining you are doing it. And there lies the danger of their approach sometimes. Although what I would say, Max, is that I wouldn't have a go at them for aggressive intent, because Travis Head showed that on that pitch, which was very, very bowler friendly, the only way to succeed really was by trying to take the bowlers on. The issue with England's style of doing it was that they were taking on all the wrong deliveries, and kind of giving Australia an enormous chance to knock them over cheaply. despite the fact that England had 105 run lead for one at one point on day two, and then 3.5, 4 hours later they lost the game. It's just extraordinary.
Yeah. Mark, I haven't had a night to sleep on it when they should have been getting ready to play. How will the players feel? Will they be angry, frustrated? Because it seemed like a massive opportunity lost to take a lead in this series.
Yeah, Barry, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, Australia were very much under strength, and would have been feeling battered and bruised and very, very concerned after England's bowling performance in their first innings, knocking them over for 130. 5 quick bowlers just, roaring in at them and making life very uncomfortable. And so, they got no Hazelwood, no Cummins. Their captain isn't playing. They're very much less than what their best 11 might be. England had them on the ropes and are 1-0 down. They'll be absolutely gutted this morning. And the worst side of it is that it's something, as I mentioned before, that has kind of dogged them a little bit, particularly against top opposition, whereby they just haven't been able to finish off a job when they've got themselves not just a neck in front, but sort of like half a torso in front.
The frustrating thing is, like, publicly at least, there doesn't seem to be a lot of self-reflection. And I know instantly at the end of the game, you get a microphone shoved underneath you and it's sort of, perhaps that's not the best time. But most of the chat was, well, Travis Head's really good. Sometimes it happens. And I know he is good. It's like it is an innings for the ages. But at no point did they go, actually, we could have occupied the crease a bit longer. We could have been attacking, but been a bit more sensible. And
yeah, well,
I don't know if fans find that frustrating or not. Maybe they don't, but they seem to get a bit defensive.
I think they probably do. The fans find that very frustrating, but I'd be incredibly surprised if there wasn't quite a lot of self-reflection, if not in public, then at least by the individuals. Joe Root and Harry Brooks' shots in that second innings were horrendous, really. Given everything that we know, having played in Australia, having played at Perth, albeit at a different ground, but the pitch is very similar. That sort of driving on the up, outside off stump is just it's a no-no. Yes, be aggressive and be attacking, but there are certain areas where you just have to give the ball, give it to the bowler. So it's fine. You want to stay there, that's okay. You go anywhere else, we'll take you on. We have the skill to do so. But there was the lack of sort of discipline around that basic tenet of playing in Western Australia was basically what cost them the game. And so, they'll go to Brisbane, which will be very similar. There'll be a pink ball, so the ball might move around and do all sorts of stuff as well. And they're going to have to learn the lessons from that, because it will be very, very similar case. And Australia, they're smart. They don't kind of get sucked into the idea of they're coming hard at us, we'll go hard at them. They will just go, well, we'll allow England to kind of make mistakes if they're going to offer them up to us on such a regular basis.
Sorry, Mark, how concerning was the difference in the bowling attack in the second innings to the first? And was that because they didn't have enough? I mean, they didn't bowl for very long in the first innings, but was that mentally they just needed more time? Because if they need more time, that is maybe a message to the batters to say you need to occupy the crease for longer just to get your bowlers. Because the bowlers in the first innings, I haven't seen a pace attack like that for England. I mean, I literally after the first innings, I just thought we're going to blow this lot away, and it's going to be the best thing I've ever seen this series.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. So I'll go all the way back to the morning of day one, when England decided to play all 5 quicks. I wouldn't have done that. I'd have played Will Jacks or another batter at number 8, because I knew that runs were going to be an absolute premium in the Test match, and that if the game is going to be over as fast as this one proved to be, I mean, even faster than this one proved today. I was thinking maybe 3.5 days. You don't need 5 quicks. You've got 4, and they're all good. Whichever ones you decided to pick. Stokes didn't come on to bowl until the 28th over or something in the first innings, and he has been England's best bowler for a very long time. Now, if he was the 4th seamer instead of the 5th seamer, he would have bowled earlier, sooner, and perhaps even England would have had a bigger lead in that first inning. And the other thing is you play 5 quicks, expecting the ball to do all sorts of stuff, and then you bat first. I mean, England. I remember doing a toss with Ben Stokes, and Ben said, winning it, said, we'll have a chase. That before a ball had been bowled, we will have a chase. They're a very good side batting in the last innings, chasing down totals. But also, if you're expecting the pitch to do plenty on day one, the likelihood is, as the game goes on, that the pitch gets better and easier to bat on. And so, therefore, you're not expecting it to turn. That no spin was bowled, apart from maybe Joe Root at the very end in the Test match. You're not expecting it to spin, and so therefore, the pitch gets easier as the game goes along in those circumstances. And perhaps that's what we saw. They wouldn't have been expecting Travis Head to come out to open the batting. Australia changed their tack in the second innings and were much more proactive than they were in the first. But with the bearing in mind where the risks were, which is outside off stump and the ball is pitched up. And Travis Head is an absolute beauty. He's a murderous player who's done it on the big occasion, on so many occasions. World Cup final, World Test Championship final. And now this innings here, he's a very, very dangerous player indeed. And given such a small chase, which could have been 300, 350, and you put the game to bed, he chanced his arm, did it brilliantly, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, and that's it. Oh well, look, there's always the next series, I guess. Hey, cheers, Butch. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Thanks, Mark.
Pleasure, fellas. Pleasure.
Mark Butcher there, former England batsman. Sean, he says, Owen says, is Bazball basically Big Angie's Spurs? Amazing for a while, but now is utterly daft. Or is it just a gaslight Michael Vaughan to say the word attritional at least 8 times a minute? And Sean, he says, maybe if England had taken your advice and moved to Western Australia, they might have accomplished more. It's very true. It is Max and Barry here until 1:30, and we'll do a Premier League review in just a second.
Max and Barry's Premier League review on talkSPORT.
Kieran Maguire's been in touch, football finance expert, Brighton fan, of course. I think Hologram, Barry, would make a superb Christmas present. You could set it up with AI for the Christmas meal too, especially if it came in different modes. You could have raconteur Barry, sarcastic Barry, shy Barry, one too many Barry, Father Jack mode, perhaps, he says. Magnanimous Barry after losing the FSA Best Podcast Award to The Price of Football and so on. Yeah. You've still got to go to the FSAs and get something, Price of Football. Yeah. I would love it if we beat you, etc.
No, there are certain podcasts I wouldn't mind losing to. Well, wouldn't mind as much. But the Price of Football is one of those. There's no animosity here towards the Price of Football.
No, I think so. There's just a great respect between the players. Should we start at Anfield then? Liverpool 0, Forest 3. Forest first away win of the season. I thought it was telling that Nico Williams afterwards, Barry, when they said, what have you been doing in training? And he said things like running and defending. And I'm like, I love Ange.
Are you suggesting... I did hear afterwards, when Virgil gave his post-match interview and he was very scathing about Liverpool's performance, and someone on Match of the Day asked, is that a message to the players? So are you suggesting Nico Williams' post-match interview may have been a message to a certain Australian of his acquaintance?
I wasn't hear nothing, even though I brought it up. I will hear nothing bad about Ange Postecoglou. Tottenham would be top of the league if he was still there.
I am aware that Steve Bruce was, who also lost his job this season as Blackpool manager, I think.
Yes.
He was at the Ashes in Perth. He's a big cricket fan. I'm just wondering, is there like a group of out-of-work managers who've lost their job? Did they organise just a trip to the Ashes? Because Ange would probably be a good guy to have, in charge of the float and telling them where's good places to eat and drink and whatnot, now that they've got 3 days to spare.
True. But Ange would also be like, if a day didn't go well, if something on the tour didn't go well, he wouldn't say, well, let's change it, would he? He'd say, we're just going to do the same thing again.
Yeah. They would turn up at the ground on day 3, day 4 and day 5 and wonder where everyone else was and why there's no cricket being played.
Anyway, look, 6 defeats for Liverpool this season. I said it yesterday and I will keep repeating it. It doesn't mean you can't analyse their performance, but I give Liverpool a complete pass this season after what happened with Diogo Jota. You saw what Andy Robertson said after the victory for Scotland, and that he was cut up all game. It's not going to affect every player in the same way every time, but it's just such an impact on every single person at that club to some extent. So I just think it is worth repeating that, even if people don't want to hear it repeated, and it is very sad. So it's not something people want to discuss all the time.
I do agree with you. It's an unquantifiable thing that people will try to quantify if Liverpool's seasons goes completely to the dogs. Not a lot of people are not as sympathetic, and that's their right. I have seen rumblings, admittedly, on social media, which I'm not sure count. Suggestions that Slot is under pressure and could lose his job if this bad run continues. I think that would be an astonishing turn of events if he was sacked. And then again, very little that happens in football that surprises me anymore. I think there's absolutely no chance of them winning the league now. I've written off their chances. I had before this game. I was surprised when I saw the score of this one. I thought they'd have enough about them to beat Forest. Yeah. And as always happens, when we have results like this, we always focus on the big team who lost rather than, well, the big team who are struggling. But they won, and they deserve to win. They were Liverpool had the better of the first half hour, but Forest thoroughly deserved their win. And
yeah, I think you're right.
Too many of Liverpool's big senior players are not delivering the goods.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Liverpool could have been one up, right? They had chances, didn't they? And Forest defended sort of heroically, and there was a great block from Elliot Anderson, I think, too. And, Kirkus had a chance and Szoboszlai had a chance. There was a bit of debate about that Murillo goal. And, I'm very pleased that it was given, because I think if the keeper isn't going to save it, it doesn't really matter where the player is. This is how I would like the law. That isn't the law, but that's what I think the law should be. And Alisson, however good he is not saving that shot from Murillo. I mean, Konate shouldn't have put it out for a corner. He is one of the players who's having a really tough time at the moment. There's no doubt. Like, that was one where just put it out for a throw and it's fine. And then I thought Igor Jesus' second goal, I couldn't really see a hand, but I mean, I didn't watch as many replays as the VAR. I presume I didn't anyway. And I didn't really focus on it because it's not, so it is my job, I guess, but it's not quite as officially my job as the VAR. But I thought that was a bit soft. And then, Williams did really well for the Savona goal. And Amari Hutchinson does really well for the Gibbs-White goal. And Liverpool had just made a substitution, hadn't they? And they weren't set up right. And
they were asleep. They weren't paying attention. Forrest took a free kick. No, I wouldn't say they took it particularly quickly, but Liverpool just hadn't set up. Ball was played out to the right wing, where Amari Hutchinson had all the time in the world to waltz around Andy Robertson, and his shot was saved, rebounds to Morgan Gibbs-White, who put it away. But it was a very soft goal for Liverpool to concede, and that just put the game totally beyond them. But as far as the contentious refereeing decisions, I'd say they probably, if they were wrong, they cancel each other out, we'll say.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's interesting, we talk about the lack of sympathy. Ryan says, Isak, Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes, Ekitike didn't know Jota. Please stop using it as an excuse. But they are still coming into a dressing room that has been affected by this event and affected by grief. And that would be very strange. And when you come into a club, especially you've just signed for Liverpool, and for a lot of them, that is a huge moment. And to come into a dressing room that is very different would be difficult. And
you also are going to be worried about how to comport yourself in this new environment. It's not like walking into any other new dressing room. I
totally agree. I don't know if I should have read that. It was just interesting. That was the first message.
No, I think he's entitled to his opinion, and he is right. They don't know him, or we guess they don't know him, but that doesn't mean the mood in the dressing room is not going to affect when they walk into it for the first time.
This is Max and Barry on the warm-up with Travis Perkins. Do what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. Download the app. We'll continue the Premier League review at St James's Park in just a second. Now you could kick off 2026 in style by going to Vegas, thanks to talkSPORT and Virgin Atlantic. If you win, we'll give you the upper-class treatment flight on the way there, a spa villa for 4 nights, tickets for the Las Vegas Raiders against the Kansas City Chiefs, and £5,000 in cash. You'll fly on the 2nd of January until the 7th, and here's how to enter.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
All right, then Newcastle 2, Man City 1. Second time they've beaten City in 2 decades, I think it is. Eddie Howe's first win against Pep in, 19 attempts or something?
Yeah, I think it's two draws, 18 defeats in the league, I think. All right, I'm not sure if it's all competitions or just the league, but that's between Bournemouth and Newcastle.
Yeah,
quite a monkey to get off your back.
Absolutely. I mean, the number of sort of increasingly bad misses in this game at the start was amazing, wasn't it? Because Haaland has that chance where he's through and he sort of tries this duff chip. It's not a simple chance because Pope has come out.
Do you think okay, it crossed my mind when I saw that he was thinking about what Kenny McLean did during the week, and maybe thought,
do you think so?
I
don't think they're comparable. Are they?
They're similar-ish situations, but it was. You would expect him to score that 90 times out of 100, if not more.
Yeah.
Sort of his signature goal, isn't it?
Yeah. And then City should have had a penalty, and I cannot understand how that's not a penalty, right? When Foden kicks it and Fabian Schär absolutely wipes him out. It's like, it's totally mad.
When I saw it, I thought, oh, that's a red card and a penalty. Like, no question. And then I thought, I assumed it would be overturned by the VAR officials, and it wasn't. And that's fair enough.
That's football. I mean, I suppose the point is, it does look different if you get it wasn't a shot, but he kicked it a long way. It is different to if you keep the ball, just how we're trained. But by all accounts, if you take a shot or you kick the ball a long way, it doesn't mean the opposition defender is allowed to just crunch your ankle. So I couldn't believe that wasn't a penalty. Harvey Barnes' miss is amazing. You think, well, this is a great move. This is a goal. Like, when it doesn't go in, it's one of those misses where you're like, how has that not gone in? And then Foden misses one where he sort of he places it there. So it's like a beautiful finish. And you think it has to be a goal, it doesn't go in. Anyway, Harvey Barnes eventually sorted it out. I think it's quite interesting, this idea that he could win the World Cup for Scotland now, Harvey Barnes. He's a really good player.
Yeah, he is. I'm not too clued in. He's eligible for Scotland, is he?
He is. He played a friendly for England once a few years ago.
So he could do a reverse Rice, sort of.
He could do a reverse Rice, yeah.
I personally don't approve of what Declan Rice do. I think it's weird to go from one country you've represented at senior level to another, particularly when they're two countries who historically don't like each other very much. But right. I get his reasons for doing it, and I would be lying if I said I didn't bear him any ill will over it, but you know, I've learned to live with it. It's fine. Sure. If I met Declan Rice, I would be very polite to him. I'm he seems like a lovely bloke.
He does seem like a lovely bloke.
But Harvey Barnes,
obviously you don't. But you don't bear a grudge because you've turned in a small chat about Harvey Barnes playing for Scotland into a long chat about Declan Rice playing for England.
Declan Rice being a treacherous git.
Anyway, he
have Scotland expressed an interest in taking Harvey Barnes on board?
Sure, but they should, because he's really good. Like, love him and Guimaraes. That was a lovely move for the first goal, wasn't it? I really enjoyed Fabian's share in the Ruben Diaz goal when he sort of got nutmegged, and then he ended up falling over a bit like either one of those inflatable things at a garage forecourt, or one of those things, those toys that were full of string and you push the bottom of them and they sort of collapsed. Do you remember those? The kids will understand. And I didn't know that John Ruddy was Newcastle's third keeper. And then I didn't, and I found that out.
Well, you've just informed me.
There we are. And hopefully some other people as well.
I still think third choice goalkeeper for Premier League football team has to be the greatest job in the world.
It'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose you'd get a bit cold in the week. Like, it wasn't a beautiful day yesterday, was it? I think Brighton was the grimmest, just sideways rain, and So
Brighton or Bournemouth?
Was Bournemouth?
Bournemouth
they were both
pretty
bleak.
wet. And
yeah,
Fulham, the Fulham Sunderland game was just wet. Everything,
So
everyone was wet.
But I'm with you. I mean, all you need to do is be a brilliant goalkeeper and play at quite a high level, and then you just go, I'm doing this. This is what the keepers who are sort of 25, 26 should be saying. I'm doing this, right? I'm playing, Jordan Pickford, I'm playing for England, I'm playing for him, so that in about 3 years' time, I can sign for Real Madrid and just sit on the bench for a decade. That's the dream, isn't it? But look, great win for Newcastle. And
I think a much-needed win for Newcastle.
Yeah, I agree.
Because their season was in danger, on the home front at least, of falling apart. Their away form is dreadful, and if they had lost yesterday, there was a chance they could have ended up in the relegation zone. And they have a certain derby coming up in December against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. So if they'd lost this and went on to lose that derby, I think Eddie Howe might
have been in trouble.
Started to come under a little bit of pressure.
Well, he didn't. So lucky man. Or well done him. Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2. It was a good game, this. 2 goals from Callum Wilson are elite centre-forward play. I know the first one, the keeper's slightly suspect, but he takes them so early. That second finish is amazing. Like, it's just so hard to do that. He's such a brilliant player when he's fit. And I suppose the big story is Alphonse Areola was immense.
Yeah. I mean, was this a good point for West Ham or a bad point? Because they were 2-0 up.
Probably good.
They should have won, but they went so defensive in that second half. And then, were it not for the heroics of Alphonse Areola, they would definitely have lost, having been 2-0 up. So I'm going to say it's a good point, even though they threw away a 2-goal lead.
The Max Kilman handball, as someone who doesn't like handballs, even I am happy to suggest this is a handball. Because if you're sliding past the ball and then you just slap it with your hand, that's a handball. And Wayne Rooney on Match Today, who I think is a really good pundit, actually, I really like him as a pundit. He was like, that's got to be a red card. And at the time, I hadn't really thought about it because you don't often see handballs like that. Normally the handball is just some poor bloke's just jumping in his arm naturally, like the feather of his fingernail touches it and some high-powered Champions League ref gives a penalty. But this one, he slid past it and caught it. So I was like, I don't see that very often. But yes, it probably is a red card, isn't it? He's not trying to play the ball with well, he is, but not with any part of his body he's allowed to.
Yeah, I think he was very lucky not to get sent off for that. And one of a few weird decisions. We shall see, I suppose, what Howard Webb has to say about it in weeks to come. He'll come up with something to legitimise it. But I was shocked.
Enes Unal's first touch for that goal is brilliant as well. So well done him, because he's had a bit of a tough time, hasn't he? Chelsea are second. Are they the big challengers to Arsenal, or is just Arsenal going to win the league even if they don't do anything this season? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it is set up nicely for either them to win the league or to have another glorious failure. I can't see Liverpool mounting any sort of challenge. Pep said on Friday in his pre-match presser, the season starts here. You know, we've got the international breaks out of the way. This table is starting to take proper shape. This is when the season begins, and then they go lose at Newcastle. So if Arsenal beat Spurs today, I think they probably will. They're, 6, 4 or 7?
Yeah, 6 clear.
6 points clear.
We haven't mentioned Pep talking to the cameraman after the game. Do you think he was doing what he sometimes does? He was basically really angry with the cameraman who was probably putting the camera in his face, and I guess that's what the cameraman has to do, right?
Yeah.
But he's like he takes the big headphone. You know, the guy's got big headphones. He opens the headphone. What's Pep saying to him? Do you think he's doing what he does to Nathan Redmond? And goes, "You're so good." He was just telling us your camera operation was so good, but it did. The still images look completely ridiculous. Just on Chelsea, perhaps not an important point, but Mark Gu, and you just think it's Mark Gay, but they just don't have the rights for his name, even though he's obviously a completely different player. But Mark Gu, I was thinking if he and Freddie Potts adopted loads of children, they'd have lots of little Goo Pots, you know, those little chocolate puddings.
Yes.
And that was my main observation. There is one observation I really want to make before, because we haven't got through all the games, we'll try to a bit later. But in the Wolves Palace game, there was a moment on Match of the Day where they did this great sort of cut, you know, shot to shot to shot of miserable Wolves fans. It was like 2-0 down.
And then it just there's no shortage of them to choose from.
No, but it was really good because it probably took about 5 seconds. But you can just see the director going, you know, camera 1, cut 2, camera 3, cut 2, camera 1. Two sad blokes in a black and an orange jacket. And then it cut to a sad woman with short blonde hair in a Wolves shirt and an open coat next to 2 sad old men. One with a beanie, one with glasses on, who might have been asleep. Then it cut to a man in front with his hands on his lips looking sad. Then it had a close-up of a young man with stubbly beard looking sad, an old man looking sad next to him, and then there was a wide shot of lots of sad Wolves fans, and then a close-up that just zoomed in on a sad Wolves fan with a pierced nose. And it was just like this really lovely, this is how sad it is to be a Wolves fan at the moment. And Rob Edwards did say, I don't have a magic wand. And every part of me would have loved it if he said, I do have a magic wand, and then he tried to do some magic. but sadly,
I do have a magic wand, and now I'm going to tap this top hat, upturned top hat, and take a rabbit out of it. I think Rob is going to need a magic wand. He probably should make it his business to acquire one. Rob Green on Match of the Day he gave Wolves literally no chance of getting out of this mess. I still maintain, I think the mess they were in this time last season was only slightly better or less messy.
Yeah, but I mean, Sunderland are good, aren't they? Like the other relegated sides, promoted sides rather.
Predisposed to be pessimistic about Sunderland.
Of course.
They are going to lose. They lost yesterday against Fulham in a match I expected them to win. I don't think I can't remember the last time I expected Sunderland to win a game of football. You know, I often hope they'll win, but I've never expected it. But I expected them to win yesterday, and they didn't. And they didn't deserve to win either on a filthy, dirty day at Fulham.
And so that was 35 players to AFCON.
Yeah, every single member of their squad is going to AFCON.
I haven't thought about this.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an issue, isn't it?
They
should just enter AFCON, Sunderland, shouldn't they? They do pretty well.
I'm saying someone in the Sunderland HR department didn't quite think through all their transfers. They're not going to lose the entire squad. They're going to lose, I think, 7 players, 6 of whom are first-team regulars. So that could get messy.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of wands, Adam Wharton. Wow. Oh. I mean, Pino was great, but Wharton, it's the pass before the pass. Every pass before the pass is Adam Wharton. He's so good. Hopefully we'll have more time to do that in a little bit. It's Max Barry on the warm-up. And now the Steel City Derby's on talkSPORT 2, midday kickoff in the Championship. We can get the team news now from Alan Biggs. Alan, so Sheffield Wednesday, obviously, we know everything that they've been through, and there is some, at least, hope because Chansiri's gone, but they were 18 points adrift. Sheffield United in the relegation zone again. I mean, is Sheffield the most miserable footballing city at the moment?
Yeah, arguably, but you'd never think so if you were here at Hillsborough, because never has it been so raucously celebrated about one single person departing a football club. Administration, that was a prize to savour for Sheffield Wednesday fans, the price of getting rid of the dictatorial madcap Dapon Chansiri. For every Wednesday fan, that's been worth it. That's part of the reason why there's going to be such a great atmosphere here at Hillsborough today, and why this is a particularly dangerous game for Sheffield United, who are the stronger team, really should win. Let's have a look at the lineups then. Sheffield United, a new player on the bench, that's Patrick Bamford. He's only substitute. Gus Harmer, very influential player, is fit again. He's only on the bench. It's the same team as per a 0-0 draw with QPR recently. Cooper in goals, Sariki, Tanganga, Mee and McCallum at the back, Brooks, Peck, Riedewald and O'Hare in midfield, Ings and Campbell up front. Two Sheffield Wednesday changes, bringing in up front Jamal Lowe and Ike Ugbo, who hasn't scored a league goal, would you believe, for 19 months. They also have a new player on the bench in Liam Cooper, Patrick Bamford's former Leeds United teammate. All set then at Hillsborough. Let's just hope it's a decent game for a change. It's mainly about just who wins in the eyes of the supporters here.
Good stuff, Alan. More from Alan as and when anything happens. And I've just learned that Ben Mee plays for Sheffield United. So, we're learning so much on this show. Let's get the latest odds ahead of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Alex Dunn joins us. Hey, Alex.
Hi, Max. How's it going?
Very good, thank you. So, Final One Standing. How many people slipped through yesterday?
Yeah, a remarkable number of people from the original game are still in, and they stay in as well. 55% of the players from that original game managed to get through yesterday, with Palace winning, Brighton, Chelsea, Fulham as well were popular with a few of them. There's a few with Villa today at Leeds, and there's 3 people from that original game that have still not played Arsenal, and they have today. I don't know how you've managed to get to that point in the game and not used Arsenal left, but there you go.
Yeah, and they could win it. They could win. Come on, Tottenham. How's that? How is that looking? Arsenal Spurs today.
Arsenal are short, and obviously I understand why. But no Gabriel would just make me think: are they going to be quite as solid at the back as they have been? They're 2-5 to win. Arsenal. The draw is 100-30. Spurs are 13-2. I was looking, Max, the other day. I'm pretty sure the last Spurs manager to win a league game at Arsenal was Harry Redknapp.
Bill Nicholson. Was it Bill Nicholson?
Not quite.
Was it Harry?
But
wow.
I think so.
That's a long time ago, isn't it? It's miserable.
But yeah, it'll be a tough ask. Bukayo Saka to score or assist is the epic boost on that game. Even money from 8-13. We had a fair bit of joy with the epic boost yesterday on João Pedro because Mark Guiu came on and assisted for him. So you've got impact sub on your side as well, which does help with that. So Saka to score assist at even money is the standout bet in the North London derby.
What about Leeds Villa? I mean, Leeds need their home form to be good, don't they, if they want a chance of staying up?
Yeah, they are 11-8 to go down now, Leeds. So they are getting shorter and shorter. And they're up against it against the Villa side, who've really, really picked up recently. Leeds are 19-10, the draw 21-10. Villa could be value at 29-20. Again, if you're looking for an epic boost on the game, Watkins to score or assist with impact sub on your side, out from evens to 7-4. I think that'll be quite a good game, actually.
Yeah. What about are Arsenal, is that defeat from Liverpool yesterday, where are they in the title race? And presumably it's Arsenal's to lose from your point of view.
4-7 now, Arsenal. Man City lost yesterday. They're 11-4. Chelsea are 14-1. Liverpool are now fourth favourites at 18-1. Certainly, well, I was going to say up against it. Realistically, they're not going to win the league this year, are they? So it is Arsenal who are getting shorter through not playing. And if they win today, then goodness me, they're going to be pretty short so early in the season.
And a bit of racing today.
Yeah, looking forward to the John Durkan. That's the feature race at Punchestown coming up at 3:00. We've got a real star cast for that race as well, with Grand National winners, Cheltenham Festival winners. In fact, the Cheltenham Gold Cup winner from last year, I Know the Way You're Thinking, runs and is a huge price at 18-1. Racing Bet Builder is live with us now at William Hill as well. So I've put a little bet together. Gaelic Warrior to win, Factor File to finish in the top 3, and Fast or Slow, who's no back number himself, to finish in the top 4. Put that trio together, and that pays 4-1 at current prices. But yeah, huge race coming up, 3:00 over at Punchestown.
Good stuff, Alex. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Alex down there. That was the latest odds brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+. Gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Max and Barry here on the warm-up. We'll look ahead to the North London derby in just a second.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
It is one of English football's iconic fixtures.
And Lennon has equalised!
Magical game, everybody knows.
Theo Walcott through the centre, he's going to beat the goalkeeper for a second time, is he? Yes, he is! 5 goals they've scored after going 2-0 down.
Probably the nicest game of the season to watch and to play.
A moment of absolute magic from Harry Kane. Drama aplenty.
This is going to be absolutely massive.
This is the North London derby.
Trossard cutting in the shot in! He does!
They've been outstanding so far this season.
They can't maintain this level of impregnability.
Christian Romero, Polina!
Concerns me this weekend, Spurs is away form.
Tottenham fans are already asking whether Thomas Frank is a little bit too pragmatic.
I'm very aware that we haven't been free-floating.
It is a feisty derby, a test of credentials.
This is something that is in our hands.
Oh, I don't really like this game, Barry. Especially now they just, Alex just told us that Spurs haven't won since, Jimmy Greaves was playing up front. Anyway, let's look ahead to the North London derby from an Arsenal perspective. From the Highbury Squad podcast, Sophie Nicolau joins us. Hey, Sophie.
Hello, Sophie.
Hello, Sophie.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes, we've got you loud and clear now.
Okay.
How's life? How are things? Everyone keeps losing. You've basically won the league already, Sophie. You could go easy. You could let Spurs have a win today. It'd be kind of you.
No kindness today. It's one of those games, isn't it? It's the game where no matter what else is going on in the season so far, it's the one game you just don't want to lose. It's the fixture you look for at the beginning of the season, home and away. And I think the North London derby's become the best derby in the Premier League and has been for a number of years now. It always throws out goals. There's excitement. The Merseyside derby is a little bit dull considering how bad Everton have been. The Manchester derby, there's been a few moments, but I think the North London derby always brings out something a little bit of an X factor for everyone. So, yeah, and here we are, Arsenal with a huge opportunity to take a massive advantage.
I will say that James Tarkowski equaliser at Goodison in the last one at Goodison last year was Perhaps my favourite moment of the season, with the man picking up the corner flag and waving it around, and then realising he's waving the corner flag around and not knowing why am I waving the corner flag. Gabriel is out. Obviously, that Arsenal have so much strength and depth. I don't know how much that concerns you, and which penalty area it concerns you most, if you see what I mean.
Well, I think Arsenal have finally built a squad, and not just a starting 11. I do apologise. I've got this new computer, and I don't know what's going on. This camera just follows me around everywhere.
No, it's nice. That's what
it's
we
really
want,
weird. It's called Centre Stage. I've been trying to switch it off, and it's a little bit. Oh God, it's making me as nervous as the North London derby. But no, we've built a team and a squad now to be able to overcome these moments. And I'm definitely not the type of fan that wants to make excuses. We've got depth, and we've wanted that depth for a long, long time. Gabriel's been a fundamentally important player for us, and you're right, in both boxes, especially with assists, even on set pieces. But Mosquera and Nketiah are more than capable. Mosquera's shown that already. Nketiah hasn't played as much, but maybe this game is a little too soon for him. I don't know, coming off an international break and all the travel. But he's got that left side that Mikel Arteta would like in this situation. He's a treble winner with Bayer Leverkusen, huge experience, international. So it's next man up now for Arsenal. Can't make any excuses. If you want to win the league, excuse me, it's all going wrong. It's all going wrong, right?
You're doing fine, Sophie, don't worry. Everything's conspiring against you.
Damn. If you want to win the league, you've got to win this game.
I wouldn't necessarily agree. In the package leading up to this interview, we heard Danny Murphy talk about Arsenal's level of impregnability and saying it couldn't last. And Sunderland scored 2 goals against them when I think maybe people weren't expecting that. Did you see that result, the draw at Sunderland, as a bad one or a good one?
I think Sunderland have been really impressive so far this season in the Premier League, and everyone thinks it's just so easy to go up to a place like that and get a win. And I was happy with the point in the end. I talked myself into being happy with a point, considering how effective they have been. They're a very physical team. They're very well organised. I think perhaps maybe underestimated coming in because of how poor the promoted sides were last season. Everyone thought that maybe the trend would continue. But I think we'll look back at that Sunderland result, Barry, and say, you know what, in the end, it was a good point. They deserved the point as well. We can't be too cocky and snobby about it. I thought that we were poor in the first half. We played much better in the second half. But Sunderland deserved their point as much as we did in the end.
I'm so annoyed you got Eze. I mean, he does look great in an Arsenal shirt, but I really thought Tottenham would get him. And he's so exciting, isn't he? The point of football is to watch people that excite us, I guess. And he is just a joy.
Max, I think with Eze, he's had 2 fantastic moments. The Manchester City pass to Martinelli right through the middle, and the Danielson Karate Kid-esque goal against his old team, Crystal Palace. And I think he's been effective, but I don't think we've seen the consistent best of Eze. And I feel like today he's the player that could have a seminal moment for the Arsenal. These games make cult heroes. These games are absolutely the center stage for, really igniting a season, a player's form. And I think for him today, I think that considering everything that happened in the summer, and of course, it all worked out for Eze to join the Arsenal, I feel like this could be a really big game for him today in front of the crowd at the Emirates.
Who are you most worried about, looking over your shoulder? Is it Chelsea, City, somebody else? Have you written off Liverpool? Or do you not worry particularly and just think we just need to keep doing what we're doing and the title will take care of itself?
I learned a lesson in the 90s, and ever since Newcastle's, Kevin Keegan's Newcastle dropped so many points, should have won the league that year. I talk to Warren Barton about it all the time when he's on the show. I just don't think that anything's a guarantee in football. We're still only in November. There's a long, long way to go. You've seen how many injuries that we've suffered already this season, and you can take nothing for granted. I think Manchester City, wasn't a good game for them yesterday. They're always going to be dangerous. Liverpool seem to have a lot of problems, I think, that stem from different areas. Chelsea could be the trump card, the surprise card this season, a little bit like we were in the 22-23 season. No one was really expecting Chelsea maybe to challenge. Everyone was talking about Arsenal, Manchester City and Liverpool, and we play them next week. So this is a critical period for Arsenal right now. And we've got another London derby after that against Brentford. So, they said our schedule was tough starting the season, but we've got Bayern Munich sandwiched in between that too in the Champions League. So it's a big task for Mikel Arteta to manage, but we've got the confidence and the belief this season. I feel like there's a different edge to Mikel. He seems a little bit calmer. Even we talk about players learning lessons, but the way he's managing the squad, the way he's made substitutions, the Sunderland game was probably the only game where fans weren't really happy with the substitution and the management of that. But overall, the way he has managed this season so far, I think, has been brilliant. And I think he's learned and evolved from the last 2 or 3 seasons as well.
I suppose in a way it'd be good to come second to City and then Liverpool and then Chelsea, just to sort of have a different person there.
Shots fired.
Thing is, Sophie, I think something in your favour this afternoon is that I don't think Spurs are great. I just don't.
No, but you're good away from home.
Be great. We are. That is true. That is true.
I would also argue, Max and Sophie, in his previous managerial roles, Thomas Frank has got off to a slow start, and it's around about the 12, 13, 14 game mark where it all clicks. I think that could be today.
Oh, really?
Are you just trying to rile me up again, Barry?
No, the last time
like
you were on.
Last time.
I know you were cross with me the last time you were on. I can't remember why. I was really struggling to remember why. I can't remember. I presume I was in the right. And I am here if you wish to apologise for whatever it was you said that was so out of order.
You know what it was? It was about it's kind of like Arsenal are damned if they do, they're damned if they don't, right?
Yeah.
I as an Arsenal fan, I've switched off to the narrative of bottlers and, can they do it? Can they not? Right now, and I talked about we're the only team that challenged Liverpool and City in their title-winning seasons. I didn't see any of your clubs challenging for the title.
My club was in League One.
Well, I mean Max, really. Max's club.
Yeah, but I'm really a Cambridge fan, so it doesn't count.
Oh, is that right? Look at you. Yeah. Now you're a Cambridge. Yeah, I'm a Barnet fan as well. No, I think he's never going to get the respect until he wins the Premier League title. I don't think Arsenal are going to get any respect from anyone. And I actually think there are some Arsenal fans now that just don't care what people think. Our team is playing well. We've got a really good squad. And this squad, everyone's talking about Big Gabby being out. But also this squad has got us to the place we are right now. We're top of the Premier League. We're right at the top of the Champions League alongside Bayern Munich. We've learned our lesson since our loss to Liverpool. We take the handbrake off when we want. We put the handbrake on. We've got a little bit of, a situation where you've got players who can play in different positions. And I think we've got a belief and a confidence that maybe we didn't have in the previous season. So we've got to put our money where our mouth is today. It will be an incredible win. I think this is the most important North London derby in a long time. And it's always dangerous playing Tottenham, and at the same time, our record against them at home is pretty good.
It is. I hope it unravels miserably for you, Sophie. But thank you so
Likewise, mate. Likewise.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Sorry about the camera and the technical difficulties today.
All right. Don't stress. It all worked out. Sophie Nicolau there from the Highbury Squad podcast. Max and Barry with you on the warm-up. There's been a goal at Hillsborough. Alan Biggs.
Yeah, an early goal helps this fixture normally. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1. Tyrese Campbell is the Blades goal scorer. Brings back memories of a year ago when in the first of the Steel City derbies then Tyrese Campbell scored the winning goal. It's a long way to go before this is a winning goal, but it was an excellent finish. A mistake in the Sheffield Wednesday defence again almost lets in Danny Ings for a second Sheffield United goal. They've cleared the danger Wednesday, but the goal itself resulted from Wednesday caught playing out from the back. Gyro Riedewald seized on the ball in midfield, played in Callum O'Hare very, very cleverly. O'Hare set up Campbell for a precise angled finish, and right now Wednesday are creaking with Sheffield United sensing further goals in this Steel City derby. There's live commentary over on talkSPORT 2. It is Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1.
Thank you, Alan. Alan Biggs there at Hillsborough for the Steel City derby. Sheffield United 1-0 up. I just learned that Danny Ings plays from there. I should have just a bit more championship research, shouldn't I?
You're really getting an education today.
I really am. Barca Jim says, backpedaling Max is one of my favourite holograms. I'm really a Cambridge fan. What do you know? You know that's in my heart, Jim. That is my club. Tottenham are my big team who win things. You can be annoyed with me, but that's just how I was brought up. It is what it is. I love them both. They can coexist. It doesn't have to be. Someone can message me and tell me I'm not a proper football
You're
fan.
a football bigamist. That's what you are.
I just think lots of people are, and it's okay. And it's just whatever your upbringing was. And so somebody can yell at me and go, you're not a proper fan, you plastic idiot, or whatever. And then the world will keep spinning. Footballer Game is next. Me v Barry v Perry Groves. Oh, get ready to kick off 2026 in style, everybody. talkSPORT and our friends at Virgin Atlantic giving you the chance to win an incredible trip for two to Las Vegas. You may be aware of this competition by now. You will kick things off in style with exclusive access to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse at Heathrow. Fly upper class, comfort, live flat beds and premium service all the way to Vegas. We'll check you into a spa villa for 4 nights, give you tickets to Las Vegas Raiders against the Kansas City Chiefs, give you 5 down up to £1,000 in cash as well. Your holiday is the 2nd of January to the 7th, and here's how to enter.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
After us, Barry, it is the Sunday session. I don't know what it's called today. That's what it says on my piece of paper with Sam Madface and Perry Groves. And Perry joins us. Welcome, Perry.
Well, it's actually Sunday Game Day Live. We're
Sunday
back.
Game
exactly,
Day
we're
Live.
back.
You're back.
Yeah, we've got
Great.
Dean Ashton.
We missed you last week.
No, you didn't. Just pretending.
Oh, okay. Well, you were a different show last week.
Yes. Yeah, it was the Sunday session last week, Max. So perhaps you got last week's
Very
script.
confusing. It's confusing.
Around the grounds? What do you want it? It's up to you. What do you want it to be called?
I think it should be called Perry Groves 8 Hours of Fun.
Perry Groves doesn't knows. That's what it is.
Yeah. So what are you going to do on your programme, Perry? What are you going to talk about?
It's funny you say that, Max. We've got Dean Ashton and Mark Wilson at the Leeds Villa game, so preview and review. We've got Little and Large at North London Derby, same thing, preview, review. Alan Biggs updates from the Sheffield Steel Derby. Updates from the League, Women's League Cup. There's 7 games in that. Men in Black, bit of a mixed day yesterday, wasn't it, for the officials?
A little bit.
Updates from the Rugby Autumn Nation Series. Scotland against Tonga. England against Argentina. John Norman at the Ashes Day free. Oh, no, sorry. I've scrubbed that one out. That was no good. So it's a veritable feast of sporting action.
Who's Little and Large?
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out either. I was too
Alex Crookie and Matterface?
Yeah, exactly.
Crookie and Matterface?
Yeah. It's Little and Large, isn't it? Literally.
How do you think those two would go on sort of Saturday night prime time, sort of
shiny
sketch comedy?
Who would
shiny
be
floor sketch comedy show?
Who would be the straight man and who would be the funny guy? Who would be the Eddie Large? It's got to be Crookie, isn't it?
I think Crookie's the Eddie Large.
Yeah.
And Matterface is the straight man.
Yeah, he's Sid Little.
Yeah.
Matterface won't thank you for saying that, Max.
I think you're probably right, though. Well, if you come and play the football game, maybe we wouldn't be compared. There's nothing wrong with being compared to Sid Little. You know, the guy was a tour de force in the 80s.
Comedy genius.
Yeah. You have to have a straight man.
You've got to have a yin and yang.
What you're doing here, Barry.
Exactly. I was just thinking, actually, you know, you did that read.
Two straight men, Max.
You know, you did that read beforehand, Max. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. Baz, you ever thought of doing any reads at all?
I've never asked to do reads.
No, really?
Yeah, I'd happily.
Get you out your comfort zone.
I think I could make that trip to Vegas sound even better than it already is.
Well, there we are. The gauntlet is laid down. I believe we have to do it after 1 o'clock. So,
by the way,
ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Barry Glendenning tries to get you to enter a competition.
Have you been to Vegas, Max?
I have been to Vegas.
Okay. So
have you been, Baz?
I have, yes.
Yes? No clocks and loads of oxygen.
Yeah, I spent too long in Vegas, I would say.
3 days is enough.
5 minutes. 5 minutes is too long in Vegas. I mean, but do enter the competition. It's just a bit noisy for me. It was a bit noisy for me. Yeah. I will say that.
We had a system, my dad and myself, going into
with your dad.
Onto the
Perry, you know what happens in Vegas is supposed to stay in Vegas. No, you're about to reveal you and your dad's system.
We had a system. And we did our dough within 35 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So the system in practice didn't actually work. And the pit boss, they had their eyes on us as well, as if to say, if you win, you're done. Get out.
Okay. Hey, let's play the footballer game. Reece joins us. Welcome, Reece.
Hi.
How are you?
Fantastic, mate. Yeah, we'll go for a 7 out of 10. Why not?
Okay, let's play.
Our first footballer began his career in the 97-98 season for Quick Boys, where he scored 3 goals in 6 games before moving on to FC Utrecht between 98 and 2003, scoring 51 in 160. This earned him a move to Feyenoord, where he stayed between 2003 and 2006. No, he scored 71 and 101. No, he moved to Liverpool in 06, staying until 2012, scoring 51. It is Dirk Kuyt.
Oh, good work.
Well done, Barry.
Good work.
Really good work.
I needed that.
What was the name of his first team?
Quick Boys.
Quick Boys.
Quick Boys. Quick Boys. Okay.
Quick Boys against Young Boys. That'd be a good game, wouldn't it?
Would be a good game, wouldn't it?
Well,
actually,
only
we don't
if
know.
the quick boys are old and the young boys are slow.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if we can make that happen. Barry, this is a text from Barry to Barry. If Barry can offer a hologram as part of the package to Vegas, I would sign up instantly, he says. Here we go, Barry 1-up. This doesn't often happen in the footballer games. It's exciting times, uncharted territory here as we go for player 2.
Our second footballer began his career at Stuttgart in 2013, staying until 2016, scoring 13 goals in 95 games. He then moved to
Uwe Rosler.
No, between 2016 and 2020. Scoring 78 goals in 100
What team was that?
Leipzig. Red Bull Leipzig. Rasenball Sport. Leipzig.
Yep.
I do
Timo Werner.
It is Timo Werner.
Thank you.
Where's Timo these days?
Back at Leipzig.
Okay.
He's scoring buckets. I've just got a feeling he's going to be one day.
Wherever he is, he'll be still running. He'll be running.
Yeah.
He runs everywhere. Run to get the milk,
to the shop.
run to get the papers, run to the shops.
Just scuttling along.
Timo, calm down a bit, mate. Just calm yourself down, will you?
He's running, and then he runs to get the tea, to pour the milk in the tea, and then he just pours it everywhere.
Even his dog looks at him and goes, "No, you're right, mate. I'll sit here."
His dog throws him sticks.
Here we go, play. It's Max 1, Barry 1, Perry 0. Here we go.
Our final footballer began his career at Sporting Club Portugal's B team, where he played between 2002 and 2004, not scoring in any of his 59 games. He then moved to Figueiras for the 2004-2005 season, where he scored once in 28 before moving to Vitória Setúbal.
Ricardo Carvalho.
Nope. For the 05-06 season, not scoring
Pepe.
in his 15 games. He moved to Benfica, where he didn't play or score between 2006-2008, taking in loans in 2006. Passos Ferreira, where he scored once in 11. Estrella Amadora, where he scored once in 25. And Crystal Palace for the 2007-08 season, where he scored once in 22. He moved to Palace permanently in 08, staying until 2010, scoring 5 in 60. This earned him a move to Southampton, where he was between 2010 and 2017, scoring 15 goals in 260 games, while spending a season at West Ham in 17-18, not scoring in any of his 24 games, earning him a move to the Chinese Super League.
Fernandez.
No, in 2018, where he didn't score in any of his 7 games for Dalian Yifang. Then moved to Lille between 2018 and 2023, scoring
Jose Font.
It is Jose Font.
It is
Jose Font.
Thanks for that, Baz.
I knew it was Jose Font. I couldn't think of his name.
And I can confirm, as that was going on, Baz was doing a lot of colouring in and a lot of shading.
No, I knew he's a regular guest on either The Breakfast Show or Jim White, and I could not for the life of me think of his name. So, anyway.
But you got,
I got my one.
Exactly happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm on a bigger drought than Timo Werner.
But now you can
run out the studio. On your way, son. Go on.
Thanks, Perry. Have a lovely show.
Thank you very much. Cheerio.
Perry Groves there, and the Game Day Live Sunday session, lots of goals, is on after us. Sam Matterface and Perry from 1:30 to 6:30. Final word with Majestic and Alan Pardew at 6:30, and at 9:00 the brilliant Trans-Europe Express with Danny Kelly and Andy Brassel. We'll do some leads with James Brown in just a second. Good afternoon. You are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning with you until 1:30. Commentary on talkSPORT 2 of the Steel City Derby. As Hugo just said, Sheffield United 1-0 up at Hillsborough at the moment. Of course, Game Day Live after us with Sam and Perry. We'll keep you posted on Arsenal Spurs 4:30 kickoff and Leeds Villa, which kicks off at 2 o'clock. Let's speak to the author and Leeds fan, James Brown. Hey, James, been a while. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good.
Yeah, really good. Lovely to talk to you. So Leeds started the season quite well. All the promoted teams came up and we were all like, oh, this is good. They're all going to come 10th. And then suddenly sort of Leeds and Burnley have sort of slipped a little bit. And now everyone seems to think, well, they'll just go down. And that's kind of been decided. What's your vibe, James?
Well, I think, first of all, if you look at those first few games, we dropped 4 points against Bournemouth and Fulham in extra time. And so that really was a matter of, you know, if we'd been able to hold out, we drew with Bournemouth at Ellen Road and we lost to a freak-on goal in like the 95th minute against Fulham. If they'd got in, we'd have been 15 for 16 for something like that, which isn't that much better, but it's better. And I don't know if it's because I'm old and I've been through this a lot, but I feel okay because I think what's difficult is when, as a fan, is when you don't understand what's happening. But you can see at Leeds, the main issue is simply we don't have what we had years ago in Pablo Hernandez. We don't have a really great creative player in the sort of attacking midfield or the supporting forward role. And we don't have a proven Premier League level centre forward. If you look at who scored West Ham's goals yesterday, there's an example of somebody who's coming to the end of their career but still scoring. Chris Wood will be another example of the type of player that's, you know, the sort of player that Leeds, you know, should have been trying to find. But that's fixable because there's the transfer window. And I think then the other challenge has been Daniel Farke can be quite inflexible. You know, he can be, you know, he kind of sticks. So it was naive to play, I think, to play Arsenal away 4-3-3 with the same players he had last year. But we've got 4 or 5 pretty competitive, battling, defensive, you know, kind of working midfielders. He's yet to play anything like a, you know, we've got like 4 or 5 centre backs, but he's yet to play 5 in the defence or the midfield. And I think, you know, ultimately, unless he changes the formation sometimes to fit the opposition and try and, you know, just squeeze a point away from home, then it'll be him that loses most. So I kind of feel like everything is still fixable, and we'll probably be in the bottom 3 till at least Christmas, given the people you know, the teams we're playing. But, you know, ultimately, on the last day of the season, we have to be 1 place higher than we are now. And I think that's what he's saying, and that's what the club are thinking. That's their aim, just to finish 17th. And it's not pretty for the fans. It's not, you know, most of the fans are really upset and frustrated, and they think the club didn't spend enough money. But, you know, they spent a lot of money. I saw one guy say instead of 7 or 8 players, we should have bought 3 £30 million and £30 million players. And that's an argument you could look at. But, you know, once key players are injured, as there will be injuries throughout the season, you need to be able to back up. And the good thing for Leeds is Gnonto and Daniel James, who are both key attacking players in the squad, they're back. They're back from today, so fully fit. So that's a chance to improve what we start with and what we play with.
James, I think it was more or less 20 minutes after he sealed promotion, there was a suggestion that Farke might be replaced.
Yeah.
And he's now, you see post-match Daniel Farke, he reminds me of post-match Daniel Farke when Norwich were in the Premier League and he was in charge, just quite forlorn and sad. You have a quite brutal run of fixtures coming up. It's Villa today, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. I think you probably beat Liverpool the way they're going. But and with the West Ham and Forest showing signs of life, having replaced their manager, do you think it would be a good idea, if possibly an unfair move, to replace Farke?
I mean, that's what everybody tends to do nowadays, isn't it? But I think it would depend on who you'd replace them with, because somebody I know is quite well connected to the club. They told me they thought they were going to go for Daesh in the summer if it didn't work after a month. But as you know, Max said, we started pretty well, you know, so then Dyche was snapped up. I wouldn't have been happy about that, although he's doing well at Forest. I think that's because of his personal passion for the club. And then I think they did try and hire Mourinho, because Mourinho basically made that statement, didn't he? About Easter time, I'd like to go to a club at the bottom of the Premier League and show people I can do that. So I got the impression there were conversations with Leeds and Mourinho, but I would only go it if they have somebody they know. Again, we're not talking about what we need in the centre forward position. If they know there's somebody who will improve the position, then. But ultimately, the first thing they can do is Farke can change and alternate the use of the players we've got and the formations. They've bought some good players. Okafor, who's playing on the left wing, well, he plays centre forward for Switzerland, and he was also down as a forward for Milan as well. So I don't know why he's not played him at centre forward. Maybe because Gnonto and James have been out. If they're back in, maybe he'll move him into the centre and try that. But, you often go back as a fan to your glory years. And when I think about Howard Wilkinson's team, I think about Lee Chapman and Rod Wallace. I'd like to see Gnonto very close to the penalty spot off one of the two strikers we've brought in, like Namacha or Calvin Lewin. I think Gnonto playing wide on the left isn't going to get us goals, but Gnonto around the D or the penalty spot, he'll score goals for us there. So that's the first. Before we start talking about changing the manager, the current manager should, in my opinion, be changing his formations, trying different combinations of attackers, ramping up the defence, toughening up the midfield. And we've got the defensive midfielders and the defenders to do that. So whatever, that's how I feel. I genuinely might sound a bit flat, but I'm okay at the moment. I mean, it's not a good position. Your club is fantastic, Barry. How's that happened? Who did they buy? Was it the strikers that they bought that's made the big difference?
I mean, Xhaka's been amazing for them, hasn't he, Baz?
Yeah, Granit Xhaka, Siddiqui. I was worried, I must say, because I think Sunderland brought in 14 players. Very few of the team that got them promoted are getting a look in now.
You needed to do that, Barry, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing that could go horribly wrong. They just seem to have scouted very shrewdly and brought in players that have really hit the ground running. I can't think of a single flop.
Can I ask James a very football dinosaur-y type question? But has Daniel Farke ever been angry? I mean, he's so mild-mannered, and I know football is different now, and emotional intelligence matters. And Labrie doesn't seem like someone to anger, but you look at him, and you think, he could flick a switch. I just wonder if Daniel Farke is just
interesting question.
It's a dumb question to say. Is he too nice? But he seems so lovely.
No, I don't think he is, Max, because actually I think he channels any anger he has into what I would call inflexibility, but also strictness. So there were young players at Leeds last year, Matteo Joseph and Joffrey, Joe Gelhardt, who's banging them in at Hull now, and Jadon Anthony as well. And they weren't really getting a run, and there seemed to be some suggestion that with who else did we go? Oh, Radrizzani, who's gone over to Valencia, that he didn't like Ramazani's sort of personal style. He's sort of cocky. But I mean, the 4 or 5 games he played at the start of last season, I thought he looked fantastic. And then Solomon got good and got fit and kind of kept him out of the team. But I think his anger is shown in his decisions. If he's not into somebody playing, he just bombs them out and he sticks with that rather than just going in front of a microphone and in front of a sponsor's board and mouthing off. And
sure,
I mean, the general perception is you shouldn't do that. Do that in the dressing room.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Shower, like Pulis did.
Yeah.
Don't just chew them out on television because it's not really gonna. Max, when you get hauled over the carpet for your lackluster underperformances on talkSPORT, it isn't delivered on the air. It's delivered by the station.
It should be. How good would that be if at the end of each show the boss just came on and went, "I didn't like this, I didn't like this, and I didn't like this." James, you've got a new magazine out. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I had a memoir out a couple of years ago at my time in music and magazines called Animal House, and whilst I was writing it, I had boxes and boxes and boxes and bags full of memorabilia and backstage passes and badges and letters from artists and rare magazines and dummies, and they were just all over the room that I work in. And I thought, I'm going to just photograph, or I'm going to all this photographed and do it as like almost like a dub plate, like a remix of it. So it's basically similar content to what I wrote about in Animal House, which was my Times Unloaded and Enemy, and with bands like the Roses and the Mondays and the KLF and Charlatans and Beastie Boys. But it's all the visuals, it's the stickers, the graphics, the set lists and things like that. And it's gonna come out the week after next. It's called Zenage Kicks. And if anyone wants it, they just go on my social, which is at James Brown, and I'll send them the details.
You mentioned the Roses there.
Yes.
We lost Manny during the week. Have you fond memories of him? I haven't heard anyone say a bad word about him. I'm not asking you to, but...
But isn't it amazing, the outpouring on social media? Because I was saying this morning to my girlfriend, 3 different types of people, his close friends, the fans of the Roses, and then other bands, from New Order to Suede to just the outpouring of love for the guy. He's one of those people that, everybody loved him. And I don't think I've seen a response like this, he's a perfect example of somebody who was great to everybody, and I think the most telling thing was that people have just put old video of the band performing. They were brilliant.
Yeah.
They were a brilliant band. And I'll tell you something else that was really unique about them. When they emerged, they'd been around for a long time. They were like a post-punk goth band like New Model Army or Killing Joke. And then they saw the Primal Scream doing the 60s thing, the early Primal Scream, and that flipped them in a different direction. But subsequent to that, their following was teenage kids. And it was like, that's quite rare for a band to build, like when I was in my teens, listening to the Jam or the Specials or the Undertones and people like that. It felt like the music fans were very young, and it felt like that again. And if you look at photographs of their legendary gigs like Spike Island or Alexander Palace, or you just see they're just kids there. It was a real groundswell of how pop music's supposed to be. And he was obviously at the heart of it, and just brilliant bass. And the same the time in Primal Scream, he was just an all-round. He was always really pleased to see you, incredibly enthusiastic, and and I think that he made everybody who met him feel good about themselves, because how much he seemed to like them.
Yeah. And what a lesson, be great to everyone. I mean, that's what a great lesson that everyone should take from that. Cheers, James. Good luck with the magazine.
Thanks, James.
Cheers, guys. Good to speak to you again. Bye-bye.
James Brown there, at James Brown, if you want to follow him on social media and get a look at his sort of rehashed, re-released memoir. And yeah, rest in peace, Manny. Leeds Villa kicking off at 2:00. We get the team news for that in just a second. This is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Half-time at Hillsborough. Alan Biggs.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1, and no question the Blades the better side in this first half. Far the more threatening after just the opening minutes, when the home team did threaten, and Ingleson cross threatened to produce panic at one stage, but Tyrese Campbell then had an opportunity which he scooped over at the near post. He then made no mistake on 11 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday were caught in possession playing out. Jairo Riedewald found Callum O'Hare, who then found Tyrese Campbell to his left at an angle, and it was a precise finish across the goalkeeper for the goal. Could have been the first of a few, actually. Campbell was played clear from a kick from his own keeper, Michael Cooper, but Dom Iorfa got back miraculously to deny him an obvious opportunity, but he paid a price for that, was feeling his back afterwards, the effort to get across, and has had to be substituted by Liam Cooper, newly signed as a free agent, the former Leeds skipper, making his Sheffield Wednesday debut. Danny Ings did net in between, but was caught just offside. So plenty of improvement from the home team if they're to make a meaningful game of this at half-time. Commentary, by the way, is live over on talkSPORT 2. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1.
I was going to say, Alan, Dominic Iorfa's 57, but I now discover that Dominic Iorfa is Dominic Iorfa's son.
Yeah, well, yeah, we all get caught out by this. It depends how long we've been working, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it just? You're right. So the thing is, right, so Sheffield United, there's no way they're going to stay down there, is there? I mean, because you can imagine this game for Wednesday fans thinking, if we could take them down with us, imagine how wonderful that would be as a Wednesday fan. But Sheffield United surely have too much quality.
No, this game is practically the season, the playing season for Owls supporters. Obviously, there's going to be some excitement in the coming couple of weeks when hopefully a new owner is announced to take the club into a new era. But on the field, relegation looking certain. Beating the old enemy is the season. But you have to give a lot of credit to Sheffield United, because all the pressure has been on them today. You know, it was a game they dare not lose in their situation, all the ridicule that goes with it. I think it's been a pretty composed performance, and like you say, you know, I can't realistically see a relegation fight for the rest of this season. I think bit by bit Chris Wilder will right the ship. I mean, it should never have been unsteadied anyway by his sacking. You know, you can't make a decision like that and then appoint a manager who does a bad job and get away with it. There's a price to be paid, and Wilder himself and the team have kind of paid that price for the disconnect. But yeah, they're going to, you know, as sure as anything, they're going to climb the table.
Good stuff, Alan. Thanks, pal. Yeah, over on talkSPORT 2, commentary of that game. Let's go to Ellen Road. Team news of Leeds Villa. Mark Wilson's there. Hey, Mark.
Hey, guys. Leeds in the bottom three for the first time this season. Villa no win will put them in the top four. Daniel Farke under increasing pressure here. But Leeds have been OK at home. Only one home loss this season. They make one change from loss at Forest last week. Pascal Struijk in for Jakobiol in defence. Perry in goal. Bogle, Rodon, Struijk and Goodmanson at the back. Longstaff, Ampadu Stack across the middle. Aronson, Nemecha and Okafor up top. Unai Emery's side making up for a slow start. 8 wins in their last 10. They also make one change. Anana's out injured. Yuri Tillemans starts. So Martinez in goal. Cash, Conser, Torres and Dean at the back. McGinn, Kamara and Tillemans across the middle. It's Rodgers and Buendia up alongside Ollie Watkins at Ellen Road for Leeds against Aston Villa.
Yeah, and look, Leeds, we mentioned it already, but Ellen Road is key for them, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, it's given how poor they've been, and they have been poor on the travels as well. So yeah, they need a win. They've got, I know you've been talking about, got a horrendous run of games coming up. So a win today just eases the pressure, I think, and certainly will ease the pressure on Daniel Farke. You can feel it growing by the day here.
Mark Wilson, thank you, mate. Mark, alongside him, Dean Ashton. They will keep you posted on that game. Of course, Sam Matchface, Perry Groves as well will on the North London derby. Alex Crook and Sam Matchface both at the Emirates for Arsenal versus Tottenham. In just a second, Theo Delaney from the Spurs Show and the Brilliant Life Goals podcast will join us to do some Tottenham, and Barry will try and get you to enter a competition to go to Las Vegas.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
City, gonna set my soul, gonna set my soul on
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning with you until 1:30. And now, over to Barry with a live read to try and get you to enter a competition to go to Las Vegas. Barry.
Get ready to kick off 2026 in style, as talkSPORT and our mates at Virgin Atlantic are giving you the chance to win an incredible trip for 2 to Las Vegas. You'll kick things off in style with exclusive access to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse in Heathrow, then fly in upper-class comfort with live flat beds and premium service all the way to Vegas. Once you touch down, you'll check into a spa villa for 4 nights, cheer from the stands as the Las Vegas Raiders take on Kansas, and we're throwing in £5,000 in cash to play with while you're there. So clear your calendar, January 2nd to 7th, 2026, because this could be the greatest start to a new year you've ever had. Good luck.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Lovely stuff, Barry. How did that feel?
It felt great, and I don't think people are listening to us now because they're all dashed off to enter that competition.
Yeah.
Because I've made that prize, which was already great, sound even better.
Maybe you did. Yeah. I mean, I think they could still enter and listen at the same time, but maybe
I can't multitask, Max, so I presume no one else can either.
Let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur. Theo Delaney, host of the Spurs show and host of the Life Goals podcast as well, joins us. Hey, Theo, afternoon.
Good morning, lads.
Now, this is off topic, but when I was back in London in the summer, you were out for a jog, and I said, hey, I waved, and I think maybe you didn't have a clue who it was. I mean, when I'm jogging, I can't see anyone, I'm so exhausted. But then at no point did I follow up by saying, oh, that was me who waved at you. So just in case you weren't sure, someone in either July or August this year waved hello to you while you were going for a jog.
No, I did know it was you. You were out with the pushchair, weren't you? And I'm pretty sure you burst out laughing as you saw me run past. Because
no.
you're thinking, look at that old guy. He's a bit old for running, that fella.
No, full empathy. As Barry is training for a half marathon as well. How's that training going, Barry?
It's going all right. I have to do my first uninterrupted 5K tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm not particularly looking forward to that. I really don't like running. And people have said to me, oh, you learn to really enjoy it. And I can't see a time where that will ever happen. I'm finding it less unpleasant and less painful, but I can't ever envisage a time where I'll go, oh, this is fun.
And actually, our listeners, that's how they review this show. It becomes less painful and less unpleasant.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
They never actually enjoy it. Anyway, I'm not avoiding the subject.
I think you are avoiding the subject. I just wanted to see the pair of you have an existential breakdown on live radio for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to take a step back.
Theo, then Theo, could you paint out this scenario where Tottenham go to the Emirates and win this afternoon?
Well, you can make a case for Tottenham today, I think, because obviously the way that Thomas Frank has them playing is they're very, very solid. They're extremely good away from home. They've got the best away record in the division, I think. Maybe Arsenal's is comparable. So they're ready for that. They don't have any injuries in the defensive positions. So I think man for man, we've got as good a defence as anyone in the Premier League, including Arsenal. And Arsenal do have injuries. And of course, we've got the two defensive midfielders who are very, very good defensively as well, Bentancur and Palhinha. So, also, he might go three at the back today and put Danso in, which has worked very well in situations like this before, where you're playing very, very good teams away from home. So that, all of that said, that means we could, successfully defend and maybe not let any goals in, or maybe just let one in. And then you say, well, what about up front? Well, up front, we've got much bigger problems because we've got important players missing, people like Maddison and Kulusevski long-term, and Solanke as well. But we do have good attacking players, and we'll be set up to play on the break. We have pace. Kudus, it would appear, will probably be fit. He's very, very quick and extremely good. He's been our best player this season. So you can make a case. I'll put it, and that is the case. And but you can also make a case for terrible, horrific things happening as well.
There you are. Been a goal at Hillsborough, Alan Biggs.
Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 2, and it's Tyrese Campbell again, as he did early in the first half, who has scored for the Blades. Actually, it was from one of two opportunities early in this second period that he had. The first one he put just wide at the near post. The second one he made no mistake after being released by Sidney Peck. Real composure, one-on-one with the keeper, just played it wide of Ethan Horvath, who just couldn't quite get a finger to it. And Sheffield United are bossing the Steel City derby. Commentary is over on talkSPORT 2. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 2.
Cheers, Alan. Now back to Theo Delaney, host of the Spurs show and the Life Goals podcast. So what are the vibes around Thomas Frank? I guess it's difficult for a lot of Tottenham fans, especially ones who go home but don't go away. And obviously there's lots of fans who do that. And if you're one of those Tottenham fans who only goes to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I mean, actually the record at home for donkey's years, well, maybe not donkey's years, but at least a year, has been abject.
Yeah. So it started with Ange, obviously, and now it's the same under Frank, even though their approach and everything about the way they set up the team and everything is completely different. Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of. I think most fans who've been, got a lot of years under their belt and been watching a long time, I think are thinking that Thomas Frank's a good manager, and actually we're up the right end of the table. And we've got to give him time. He's had a lot of injuries. He's only had one transfer window. There's been a change in ownership, so we're going to see the results of that. And that generally speaking, he looks like a good and sophisticated manager. The only thing is he's got to adapt. You've got to give him time to adapt, because the team he was playing, managing before were a smaller team, a smaller club, and it was acceptable for them to go into home games against most other Premier League teams and play pragmatically and defensively, and that's not the way at Tottenham, and he's finding it hard to find a way to go on the front foot and make that work. But I think for the most part, I think the feelings of the fans are positive towards him.
And Theo, I've said this before, but Thomas Frank, in his previous two, this is his third job as a manager. In his previous two, it has taken him a while to get going. If he were to pull off a win today, would that end any doubts that quite a few Spurs fans seem to have about him?
Well, it would for the foreseeable future, certainly. I mean, it would be a colossal, fantastic thing for him to win at Arsenal. I mean, we haven't beaten Arsenal very much in the last several decades, and we certainly haven't beaten them very much on their own ground. So it would be a huge feather in his cap, and it would work wonders for the way he's perceived. But as I say, I don't think there's a huge amount of negativity towards him anyway. I don't think many people expect Spurs to go and win today. So although it'd be an incredible boost to win, I think if we came out of there with a draw, I think he would, people would think well of that. And it's also one of those fixtures. If you look at the fixture list, what are the hardest? This is probably the hardest fixture for any team, Arsenal away, because Arsenal appear to be the best team at the moment. So it's the hardest game. You're going to lose some games, so it's the one you're most likely to lose. You got to try and be philosophical. It's not easy to do on Derby Day, but you have to try and be a bit objective about it.
I hope you do that in the stands. Lads, just be philosophical. Can we talk about centre forwards? Sort of weird situation where obviously Solanke's injured, and you hear rumours that Thomas Frank isn't a big fan of his, but I'm surprised about that, because I sort of feel like he could do, be sort of a perfect centre forward in a Frank team. But you've got Tell, who's sort of okay, and Kolo Muani, who's sort of okay, and Richarlison, who is sort of okay. And it's almost like if you could just combine the three of them, you might get one centre forward who's just about good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kolo Muani, to be fair to him, hasn't had enough games for us to really write him off the way we've written the other two off. I mean, Richarlison started the season well, played really well against Burnley, scored a great goal, and he's been absolutely woeful ever since. He really has been extremely poor. Tell, it's really difficult to know what Tell is, because he looks like he's struggled when he's played at centre forward, but he's struggled on the wing. The one thing about Tell, though, is he gives you everything, and he's very, very quick. He's very determined and very quick. Richarlison he's a complete enigma, Richarlison, because he's got any number of caps for Brazil at number 9, but he sometimes looks like a competition winner. I mean, he's that bad, his touch and his I mean, he just doesn't look like a top-class player. It's bizarre. But they didn't get on a streak, but he's had injury problems. I think Kolo Muani is potentially the answer. He's got 30-odd caps for France. He has, in recent games, started to look good. Then, of course, inevitably, he got that injury halfway through the last game, which was unfortunate. But apparently, he can play now with a mask. So he may start today. He may start. Harry Kane scored one of the best goals I've ever seen wearing a mask against Arsenal. Worth bearing that in mind.
That one from out wide.
Yes.
That one from out wide. Yes, what a goal that is.
Absolutely beautiful. So
goal, wasn't it?
I think he's the hope in the absence of Solanke, and he may even turn out to be better than Solanke. He's got amazing credentials. He's got more caps for France than Solanke has for England, and France is a harder team to get into, you could argue. So I think he might be the answer, but it's still early with him, obviously.
And what about creativity in midfield? I mean, a lot is made. Of course, you miss Kulusevski and Maddison. And Javi Simmons, you can see as a good player. And, I'm not saying he's as good as Florian Wirtz, but I see a similarity in this guy who's languid, has a lovely touch and lovely movement, but just physically isn't quite there yet.
Yeah, I've got high hopes for him. He's, like you say, within 10 minutes, you can see he's a class player. He's a top level player in terms of his technical ability, his touch, and he's got vision and everything. But I think he's found, as so many players do, he's found it difficult to adjust to the hurly-burly, the insane pace and the kind of physicality that the Premier League has, which is not like any other league. But really good players who've got it mentally as well as technique-wise, they come through. I mean, Luka Modric, look at him. He was even small. He was much smaller than Siemens, and he turned out to be a fantastic player for Tottenham Hotspur, and then end up winning the Ballon d'Or. So I think, I think you've got to give him time, as you say. Whether he'll come good today, whether he'll even start today, I don't know. It might be just the sort of crazy game that he doesn't need today, but we'll see.
Hey, well, look, good luck, Theo. We all believe, or we at least hope. At least there's hope. You can always have hope, Theo. Cheers, pal.
We know what that does to you, Max.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Thanks, guys.
Like running.
Thanks,
Much
Theo.
like running, it kills you. Cheers, Theo. Good man. Dan says, I missed Theo Delaney. I was just back from entering this competition. Did I miss it? Thanks, Dan. And Charles says, is Barry doing his 10K for charity? If so, how do we donate? So, yeah.
Well, I'm doing my half marathon in April for charity. If you go to Barry Glendenning, Just Giving, lots of listeners have been very, very generous so far. So any pennies you might have to spare will be gratefully received and go to a very good cause.
Yeah, it's a Great Ormond Street Hospital. And this text says, hi, Dad. If you're going shopping tomorrow, please can you pick up the below items? Bananas, tomato and mozzarella microwave pasta bake, Kenko or Nescafe caramel latte sachets, hazelnut magnums. Whoever that is, you've sent it to us and not to your dad, but you're in for a great afternoon. Anyway, guess the attendance is next. Wayne's been in touch. While you're there, can you pick up some OXO cubes and a treat for the dog? I'm not reading the other bit, Wayne, but thank you. More shopping lists. We don't have time for this. Max and Barry here with you, with the good people of Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. Download the app. GameDay Live on in 10 minutes' time. Before that, just time for Guess the Attendance. And today, top journalist Barry Glendenning will take on top comedian Justin Morehouse. Welcome to the programme, Justin.
Hi, I made it by the skin of my teeth today.
Yes.
The weather is causing traffic chaos in the South Manchester area. Just got here.
I hope you didn't break any laws, Justin, in your desperation to make it to this game of Guess the Attendance.
The only law that I may have broken, Barry, was the law of physics. In being available when I shouldn't have been.
Well, that's acceptable. We'll...
Now, I'm aware that this show is a radio programme, but we are now on YouTube and your smart TV and stuff. Your beard, Justin, is absolutely marvellous. It's really, it's the best it's ever been.
Yeah, it's getting ready. I mean, things are, comedy's not been that great for me recently. So any shopping centres out there looking for a helper for the big man?
It'd be great to go into a grotto and Justin would be there. That'd be good. It'd be really good if a kid came in there and saw you and went... How many people were at Stevenage? Andy Madley refereed Stevenage versus Bristol. Anyway, should we play this game? Should we play everybody?
I'd say 14,000, or I mean 14,000.
Oh, really good. Lovely stuff. Let's begin, everybody, at Craven Cottage. Darren England of Doncaster refereed Fulham 1, Sunderland 0. Raul Jimenez in the 84th minute. Dan Ballard wasn't strong enough, was he? Don Ballard? What do I keep... Dan. My apologies, Dan. Dan Ballard. It was a lovely... Who came on the left for Fulham? He played great, didn't he? But there we are. That's not important. What we want to know is how many people were there. And we'll begin with Justin.
28,000.
28,000.
Gone too high.
I think you have gone too high, even if you are trying to play a mind game. 27,999.
27,560. There we are. 1-0 to Barry Glendenning. Can he hold on to the lead? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Yes.
He's been on fire.
Yeah, he's been playing well recently. Let's go to Frank
I am
Park.
the Will Grigg of Guess the Attendance.
You're the John McGinn, I reckon.
Michael Salisbury of Lancashire refereed Portsmouth 3, Millwall 1. So a good result for Pompey against high-flying Millwall. Certainly they were the last time I checked the table. But how many were there at Fratton Park, Barry?
Right. I'm going to be either very close here or about 10,000 out.
Okay, interesting.
18,500.
I think you're very close.
500.
18,501.
20,423. I would say you either weren't very close or 10,000 out, Barry. You weren't close enough. It is one apiece. As we head to the Lamex Stadium, Stevenage. Elliot Bell of Liverpool refereed.
Stevenage. You signposted it.
I did. Stevenage.
Well, he mentioned Dan Ballard as well, who is from Stevenage.
I did, yeah. In fact, I would say I've been broadcasting now for more than 20 years. And all of it has been subliminally to get Stevenage into the national consciousness. Have I succeeded? Not yet. But step by step, we try. Stevenage 0, Doncaster 0. Elliot Bell refed it. But how many were there at the Lamex, Justin?
The Lamex?
The Lamex.
4,750.
4,750. Just noting that down.
I will say 4,751.
4,015.
Ooh.
So Justin Morehouse takes a 2-1 lead.
Yes.
2 attendances to go. 3 minutes of the show, which is maybe why I'm talking quite slowly. As we do these last two attendances. Here we go. We go to the SO Legal Stadium, which, as we all know, is in Barrow. Barrow 0, Cambridge United 2. 2 goals for Pelly, Ruddock and Panzu. That former Luton player who played in every single division for Luton Town, but is now at the greatest football team in the whole world in League 2. 5 clean sheets in a row. Does include 3 0-0 draws. Barrow 0, Cambridge 2, Neil Harris's Amber Army. But how many were there in Barrow to watch a fine victory from the U's? Barry? Does Barry know his Barrows?
No, he doesn't.
Ah.
I haven't a clue. I have not got a clue.
Okay.
I will say...
Very hard to get to, Barrow.
I don't even know where Barrow is.
It's sort of like the north.
Cumbria?
Yeah, it's Cumbria, but it's kind of right out there on the outlet there. It's a real difficult place to get to.
Right.
Okay.
Are you saying that because it's so hard to get to, not many people would try to go there?
I would imagine if I had to drive from Cambridge to Barrow, I might go, no.
Okay.
With that
might do
weather.
Christmas markets in Peterborough instead or something like that.
Right.
I don't think if you're in Cambridge, you'd go to Christmas. You just go to the Christmas market in Cambridge, really.
No, because you might be sick of Cambridge because, although it's your hometown and you're proud of it, it's not really your town, is it? It belongs to the university. It's kind of has no soul other than academia.
How many were in Barrow? We're running out of time.
3,820.
3,819.
3,024. It's a win for Justin. Finally, for no reason at all. Stephen McLean of Scotland refereed. Hibernian 2, Dundee 0. But how many were Easter Road for this one, Justin?
18,000.
18,000. Barry?
17,999.
17,714. So a 3-2 win for Justin. A good game.
Good numbers from both of us.
Good numbers. Yeah, good numbers. Well done, everyone. Hope if you played along at home, you had a wonderful time. And if you didn't play along at home, hope you had a wonderful time listening to that gold. Thanks, Justin. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody.
Justin Morehouse there. Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Max. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. After us, Sam Adderface and Perry Groves with the Sunday session. Final word with Majestic at Alan Pardew at 6:30. The Trans-Euro Express at 9 o'clock with Danny Kelly and Andy Brassel. But Sam and Perry are next.